It's gonna be some stuff you're gonna see that's gonna make it hard to smile in the future. But through whatever you see, through all the rain and the pain, you gotta keep your sense of humor. You gotta be able to smile through all this. So keep your head up, yeah.
Hiram Clark is an area in Houston, Texas. It takes the shape of a triangle from the U.S. Route 90A to Hiram Clark Road and Beltway 8. Reaching 2 miles in any which direction, this area is infested with crime, but is rich with football talent.
I'm from the south side of Houston, Texas, in a section called Hiram Clark. It's a rough side, but I made it out.
The third pick in the NFL draft after leading the Texas Longhorns to a national championship and the Tennessee Titans' 2006 Rookie of the Year Vince Young is a legend from this area. Eaton was born June 21, 1994. He grew up in a military home. His mother, Leila Eaton, and father, Dennis Eaton, were both in the military. Discipline was a way of life in the Eaton household.
Growing up on the south side, I was raised by a military family. My mother and father served in the military in the Army branch. So it really taught me discipline. Taught me discipline and respect through everything that I was doing, no matter if it was sports, no matter if it was school, church, or just regularly being out in the store. It was respect and diligence and patience with everything that I've done.
He didn't start playing football until his junior year.
I went to James Madison High School, home of Vince Young. Played every sport you could think of there, star baseball player, track. I didn't start playing football until 11th grade and didn't play varsity until 12th grade where I got all my offers.
Eaton's humble beginnings in Hiram Clark brought him to the ultimate reality check at Valley City State University in North Dakota. A week before the Christmas break, a classmate noticed a lump in his neck. Eaton played it off as if it wasn't a big deal, using a football injury as an excuse, but deep down, he knew it was a problem.
The week before Christmas break of my freshman year, first semester, right after the football season, a classmate noticed a lump in my neck, and she told me to go look at it, and I went to go look at it. I was amazed. I've never seen nothing like that. So it scared me for a point in time, but I told her, oh, it's nothing. It's probably a football injury. It's probably a bruise. But it really deep down had me thinking I need to go find out what's going on.
While back at home in Hiram Clark for winter break, Eaton's mother urged him to see a doctor. She was worried that something might actually be wrong with him.
2012, when the lump appeared the week before Christmas, I said that over Christmas break I would find out what it was that was going on. Christmas break, I went to the doctor. They did a ultrasound on it, and it came back clear. So I went back to school, and then spring break came around, and they did a biopsy on it because my mother said it kept getting bigger. I didn't realize it because you see something every day, you don't realize the growth. So I went home for spring break, and my mother said, "Nah, we're going to the hospital. We're going to the doctor." I'm not a doctor person, so I wasn't feeling it, but Mom's has the ultimate say-so at the end of the day. So I followed in her footsteps, went to the doctor, and they did a biopsy on it, and that's when the results came out that I was diagnosed with stage 2 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer.
For a couple of months, Eaton was able to ignore the voice inside of his head, the voice that told him something was wrong. That spring break, his parents drove from Texas to North Dakota to give him the news.
So it was a weekend. I got my biopsy done. I flew to school right after spring break, went back to school, was ready for spring ball. And then it was that following Wednesday that I seen my mother and father pull up to the front of my dorms. They drove from Texas. I seen a truck that said Texas plates that looked exactly like my father's truck, but I said, nah, it can't be. And as soon as I picked up my phone to call him, he called me and told me to come outside. I prepared my mind for something totally different than what he was gonna tell me. But when he finally told me, I broke down in his arms, and the only thing that he could tell me was everything was gonna be all right. Like, we could cry for right now, but crying is almost done. Like, after today, it's time to go to war, and we went to battle with the battle.
With his world flipped upside down, Eaton traveled back to Texas to fight the battle of his life. He was medically discharged from school, and the next day, he went home to start treatments and come up with a plan to beat this disease.
Being diagnosed with cancer was something that it didn't hurt my pride, it just slowed me down. But the week after being diagnosed with cancer, I lost my scholarship to Valley City State University. At the time, I didn't realize why that had happened, but I had to come to the conclusion that if I can't play for them, they can't pay for me to go to school, and that's when a whole nother mindset was put into play that I knew I was going to get back on the field, and I was going to make anybody pay for the setback that was placed in my life.
The #1 hospital for treating cancer patients is MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas. Being from Houston and knowing the right people, he was able to get on the waiting list right away.
So with that being said, on March 18th, being diagnosed, I had to discharge from school, medically discharged from school. That following week when my parents came, the hospital that I went to is a hospital that's #1 in the world. Like, you have to be on a waiting list to even get in there. Luckily, being from Houston and MD Anderson Cancer Center being in Houston, I was luckily able to know people that know people to be able to put me on the list so I could get in immediately.
Dr. Francisco Turturro treated Eaton and had a steady plan of action to get him better. 1 lower back bone marrow biopsy, 2 neck surgeries, and countless hours of chemotherapy. Dr. Turturro treated thousands of patients throughout his 20-year career, and Eaton and his family put all their trust and faith into him.
I was placed with a doctor named Dr. Turturro. Rest in peace. We miss you. We love you. We thank you for everything that you've done. His plan of action was steady from day one all the way to the end. I started off with a back surgery procedure, drilling 2 holes into my backbones, taking bone marrow out of my backbone to see if I was automatically in stage 4. That came out clear. They realized I was in stage 2, and the plan of action came into play right then. I had to undergo 2 neck surgeries, one not being as long as the other. The longest neck surgery I had was supposed to be 4 hours. It ended up being 7 hours. They said the tumor was bigger than what they thought. They thought it was like a lemon size, but our golf ball size, it ended up being orange to grapefruit size. And however much it was growing out, that's how much it was growing in. So it could potentially close my throat.
Eaton managed to sneak workouts between treatments and doctor visits. The passion that made him a good football player pushed him to defeat the monster fighting in his body.
So during chemotherapy, Dr. Turturro and my mother and father, they told me not to do any physical activities. I'll come off a 16-hour chemotherapy session or 14-hour chemotherapy session. And the first thing that I would think about when I get home is, oh, it's time to work out. It's time to get on the field. It's time to do something. So I would sneak away with my friends or whoever I'm chilling with. I sneak away. Oh yeah, let's go to the field. Let's go throw the ball. Or let's go hit the weights. Even if it's 10, 5 pounds, I was dedicated to get back on the field because of my drive and my passion for the game. I had to get back there.
Eaton fought for his life, and on July 10, 2013, after 114 days, he was cancer-free. His football playing career fell right into place after defeating cancer. He never left the game, continued watching film, looking at games, and training videos to keep his mind focused on the main goal, which was getting back on the football field.
The ringing of this bell makes the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. To life, Latain, with loving thanks to all the staff from Naomi.
Oh, it's okay. It's emotional. Oh, that's all right. Oh, dear.
All cancer survivors.
His dedication didn't go unnoticed, as McMurray University and Wayland Baptist University both gave him an opportunity to play again. Eaton's stint at McMurray was short and sweet, only spending the 2014 season with the program, compiling 50 total receiving yards. He then decided to transfer to Wayland Baptist University to complete his collegiate career. As a senior in 2017, Eaton started all 10 games, finishing with 431 total receiving yards. His 149-yard performance against Southwest Assemblies of God set a new Pioneer receiving record. Concluding the season, Eaton was named the most valuable player with running back Deshaun Johnson. The phone call from a 402 area code would change his life and give him an opportunity to play football after college.
So after cancer, I ended up getting a scholarship from Wayland Baptist University, where I finished my collegiate career. I broke multiple records. I broke the school record for yards and touchdowns in the game. And coming from cancer and being able to do that in one season, I won the most valuable offensive player of the year, along with my cousin, my running back, my teammate, my little brother, Deshaun Johnson. Christmas break after my senior year, I was coming back home and I got a call from a 402 number, and I know nobody from the 402, so I answered it, and it was Coach Mann of the Omaha Beef, and he said, "We like what you've been doing, and we've been following your process and your story." And I've spoken to him many times before, and he said, "I want to give you a shot. I want to give you an opportunity to showcase your talent." And that's when I knew this was the start of the journey.
The cancer survivor's football story continues to write itself. The Omaha Beef Arena football team in the Champions Indoor Football League signed Eaton to a contract for the 2018 season. Eaton's rookie season has been a learning experience, to say the least.
Playing for the Omaha Beef has been a journey that will last forever in my heart and in my soul. Like, I gave my heart to this game. I continue to give my heart to this game. It really taught me the ins and outs of the business aspect of football more than just a game. It's speeding me up. It's teaching me more. Everything has to be like this. The reaction time has to be like that. In the game and off the field, you have to be ready for coaching changes. You have to be ready for roster position changes. You have to be ready for number changes. Minor setbacks cause for major comebacks, and that's what I'm doing as a young man of the game.
On March 10th, 2018, the Omaha Beef featured a Team Ava night. Ava Reinert is a 5-year-old and is currently in remission after being diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 4. Eaton understood the hard work and determination it took to beat cancer. These two instantly became bonded for life. Being able to stand side by side, hand in hand with Ava, was the highlight of my pro career thus far. Being able to see her face light up as we walked out the tunnel was the most heartwarming feeling, Eaton said. His big break came on May 12, 2018. Eaton caught 2 touchdown passes from John Gibbs in the fourth quarter, with one of them being a game winner right before Mother's Day.
My greatest pro football experience with the Omaha Beef came on May 12th, 2018. We played Bismarck Bucks. I ended up with 2 clutch touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I left the game with the game-winning touchdown with 7 seconds left in the game. We ended up winning by 1 point, and it just so happened to come before Mother's Day and the day of my girlfriend's graduation with her Master's of Business. So that was a good present for them. And it made me happy that I could give them that present because I couldn't go down south to support them. Playing for the Omaha Beef is a great experience, but what makes it even greater is playing with my cousin, the quarterback, John Gibbs. For years on years before this time, we talked about playing ball together since we didn't in high school. He went to school on the north side, I was at school on the south side, so it was a big conflict with that situation. But finally putting us in a pot together so we could mix it up and play ball together, it was just an amazing experience.
After the season, Eaton plans to do a football camp and coach a 7-on-7 football team. He will continue to train throughout the summer and fall to become a better player.
After this season, the doors are open. for opportunity. I continue to grind. I'll be coaching a 7-on-7 team in Houston, Elkins High School, and leading them to a championship. I know that's gonna happen. And then training all over, training in Houston, go out train in Cali, and then it's up there from there. I'm ready for whatever. I'm Jeremiah Eaton, number 0 of the Omaha Beef, and I'm a proud non-Hodgkin's lymphoma survivor.